today is very special to me because it was created here, right here in FMI. And it was former students. Well, you guys are always a student, but it was students that came before you guys that really asked and began to ask, hey, how do you utilize ORS and price on together? And man, I all I could say is God dropped it in my heart, and it was a triangle defense. And I'm even amazed at that process and even how that happened. And we're here today with it, man. It's really grown since that moment. But ultimately, the question was, how do you use ORS with price on? And the triangle defense is how you do it. And it's very simple. I want everybody in the chat to write this down. I cannot forget to buy low and to sell high. Write that in the chat. I cannot forget to buy low and sell high. Okay. This right here is probably one of the for you guys that have maybe been trading ORS for a while, right? And your results have not been where you see they should be. You're usually violating this principle. Okay. This is the principle that you're usually violating. And I will, I want you to be honest, like in the chat, right? Do you get caught more times than you should selling low or buying high, right? You're just like, you're selling low, buying high, right? Just let me know in the chat, right? Be honest, right? This is one of the things. How do we end up with this? Well, it's FOMO. It's FOMO. It really is. It's FOMO, fear of missing out. It's also impatience, right? We're being impatient. We know exactly what we should be doing, but there's something about it. It's impatience, right? There's lack of discipline, right? All these different things. You guys know I'm not here to come down on anybody. I'm just reminding us, right, of what happens to me too, right? You get caught in that place of, it's good enough. We settle, right? We settle for something less than what it is that we know to do. This is usually the culprit. We're selling low and we're buying high, right? Market's been moving for a while. We're like, well, I think it could get a little bit lower. Okay, so I'm gonna get in. Now the market does that on us. And you got the perfect entry in the wrong direction, right? Perfect entry in the wrong direction. Happens all the time, right? Selling low and buying high. But no. We cannot forget to buy low and sell high. The levels that he cares about. Now, you may have heard about support and resistance, okay? But what I want to do is I want to introduce a different term to some, reintroduce to others, right? The term supply and demand, okay? Supply and demand. And what is supply and demand? Is it the same as support and resistance, right? Well, I will say yes and no, okay? Yes and no. And there, I'm going to emphasize the yes because I'm going to agree with those that say yes. And then I'm going to tell you why I say the no part, okay? So the yes and the no. Well, what is supply? Well, supply essentially is an area of resistance. And what is demand? Demand essentially is an area of support. Okay, so someone on the chart, they may look and they may say, oh, this is an area of resistance. And I would agree. It is an area of resistance. But for me, this is an area of supply as well. Okay, an area of supply as well. How do I know? Well, the difference for me between supply and demand, support and resistance, where I put that at. All right, when you write all over the screen, forget sometimes where everything is. Let's go higher. We'll find it. There we go. The difference between support and resistance and supply and demand is this. Okay. Well, support resistance for me are going to be those turning points in the market. Okay, so the market's gonna go and it's gonna turn, right? That could be a support level. Okay. But is it a demand level? Or, right, you could see the market consolidates around the area, then turns, right? Is that a support level? It could be. Is it a demand level? It depends. So how do I determine what is supply and demand, what is support and resistance? Well, I'm going to sum it up this way. Support and resistance for me is areas that essentially becomes like a traffic jam. Okay. Traffic jam. And what do I mean by a traffic jam? Well, price will go there and a lot of times you'll see it kind of slow down, right? It can turn it around. You ever run into a jam, you're like, let me turn and go the other way, right? That can happen. Okay. And yeah, but just basic support and resistance is like that. But for me, the difference between supply and demand is the money. And because of the money that exists in that area, there is something different than just an area where the market slows down, like support and resistance. What actually happens in supply and demand areas is actually the opposite for me. Supply and demand levels are and demand. So remember I told you earlier, I said the students, they said, hey Chuck, how can we leverage ORS and price zone? And I said, oh, okay, bet, right? Well, what is price zone? Price zone is a strong area of supply and demand, right? A strong area of supply and demand. I mean, man, this UCAD, this was just money since my birthday, bro. Like this was easy, right? It was real easy, real clean. Okay. Supply and demand levels, right? Let's look at other pairs. USD JPY. This is nice. Okay. This is good, right? You can see strong area supply and demand right in here, right? You can see it. This is good. Okay. This is good. What do we got in here? Okay, Euro USD. Nice, right? These are strong areas of supply and demand. Okay. So they said, how can we utilize, right, price zone and ORS? Well, there's your strong area of supply and demand. That's why I just told you it matters, right? That's the first thing that's needed. Now, what I came up with was the triangle defense. And it operates off of basically it's made up of two things. Okay, two things. It's made up of an established trend line. Okay. And sorry, there's actually an order of operation. A strong area of supply and demand or demand. So let's say I wanted to connect this low right here with this low right here. Okay. And someone say, oh, that's a good trend line. But for us, we would say no. Why? Because if we were to extend this to the left, Okay. If we were to extend this to the left, we can see here that not all of our lows are inside the triangle. This low is on the outside. It's on the right side of the triangle, right? All of them must be on the inside on the left, the left side of your triangle or your trend line, okay? So we can see that this one's on the right. So this would not work, right? We couldn't draw it like that. Now, what about drawing it like this and connecting these two? Well, we ask ourselves, is everything on the inside? Well, let's see. Let's check it out. I'm gonna extend the line to the left. This one is basically out and this one is still out. So nope, that won't work. Okay. What if I connect this one right here and this one right here? Could this work? Well, let's see. All right, we're gonna extend it out like this. Nope, this wouldn't work with this because these two lows are on the outside. They need to be on the left, not the right. Right, so they're on the outside. So no, that wouldn't work either. So you can see we just need two lows or two highs, but the rule is that every high or low must be on the inside of the triangle. So this will tell you if you're drawing your triangle right. Now, the cool thing about ORS is ORS leverages principles and approaches that are time tested. Okay, these are true blue scenarios that are here. But here's the thing: the part that I love about the system is that it's objective, meaning two people, right, can be listening to this message right now, this lesson in class, right? I said message like I'm in church. Two people could be listening to this lesson right now, right? And I could give you both the assignment. I could say, go on UJ right now, go to the 1 hour time frame. I want you to trap the current trend. And both of you, right, could go there, and as long as you understand the rules, you guys should come out with the same situation, right? As long as you understand the rules and you understand how it works, you guys are gonna come out with the same situation. Trend lines can be, if you just told someone to go draw a trend line, right, on the 1 hour chart, that trend line might come back with all types of different things. But for us, right, this trend line is gonna come back really basically one way or maybe two. Sometimes there's two options, but essentially everybody's going to come back with the objectives met, and that's the point. So if you're like, man, I don't really know, because trend line drawing is like an art, right? So how do you take something that is an art that's kind of personal, and how do you make that objective? Well, you have to have rules, and that's what I did. I created rules behind it. So no, this won't work. We can't draw it like this. We can't connect these 2 points because that would not work. Okay. So what else could we do? How about I connect this one? How about I connect this one? Okay. How are we doing here? Well, it looks like this low is good. This is on the left. This is on the left. And this is on the left. All right. Check. Check. We just need two teammates, right? So what I did here is I said, okay, in Forex, I can take this principle and I can create, instead of the triangle, because the Chicago Bulls used to have the triangle offense. But what I'm doing is the triangle defense, where we're going to make sure that we have at least three defenders. So that's what we do with the triangle defense. We have three defenders. So who is our other defender? Well, what's one thing the market can never do? The market can never go to the left. That's a boundary. It's a built-in boundary. Okay. Market will never go to the left. So this creates our triangle. Okay. We have resistance here. Market can't go that way. We have resistance here. Market hopefully can't go this way. It's going to run into a wall. And then we have a boundary here, creating our triangle. Now, this part of the triangle is called the base. This part of the triangle is our height. It's the pass, right? And this part of the triangle is the hypotenuse, right? And so we have these three areas. And so what we're hoping is that the market's going to hit a wall and then come across that line, right? And then eventually come down. Remember, it can't go that way, so we're looking for it to go this way. It's like we squeeze the market into a trap. Now, this triangle right here becomes the centerpiece for the rest of our decisions. But this right here is a powerful tool that over the next couple sessions, I hope that I can help you guys unlock the power of this and really, really take things to the next level in your trading. Our triangle defense is used for analysis, and it is also used for entry. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Its primary goal is to be used for entry, to qualify our entries, and to really set us up. Okay, it really helps us utilize our board of directors in the best way possible.